porn, it's really just a solution to women being too hard to have sex with. So I don't really think it's the end of the world. The divorce documentary is something we have been attempting to put together, but society just really doesn't want it to come out. One scorned woman dragged me to court. Another scorned woman demonetized my channel for a year and a half. I had to let go of 20. It was a whole thing. All because they get so angry when we give this information that women are whores, not all. And that, marriage is a terrible deal. And, the reason that they don't want this information getting out is everyone's paid by women. I remember I had a conversation with my dad once, and he's such a saint. He's like the biggest saint ever. And he talked about how, because I told him that everyone's paid by women. And then he said, no, that's not true. I wasn't paid by women. He's like, I sell, they sold software to like HVAC, plumbing technician, like that sort of thing. And I said, Dad, who's hiring them? Men will figure out how to do it themselves. Women will hire them. You're indirectly also paid by women. He's like, And I was like, yeah, Dad. Yeah. But he's so nice. My dad's like, he's like a saint. Saint, I would call him Saint Dan. Thank you to Sam for the donation, Alexander for another donation, William for another donation. Okay, so those are the people. If you want to donate, the link to that is in the description. All right, so today we're going to be reacting to, and by the way, if you guys like this t-shirt, it's the Audacity Network. I can sell these again. I stopped selling them because people didn't buy them enough. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a couple thoughts I had here we go, on tweets that I saw. This one was from Coach Greg Adams. And he said, she will cheat on a millionaire. She'll cheat on the guy with status. She'll cheat on the guy with muscles, cheat on game. If she doesn't want to be kept, nothing will keep her. Loyalty isn't earned, it's chosen. Choose wisely. And this made me think about someone I know in my life. And recently there was a breakup between this couple and he's devastated, right? But he had no idea the stuff this girl was doing before he might think it's him, right? He might think that it's something he did that couldn't keep her and yada, yada, yada. But the truth is, she was someone who just didn't want to be kept. She didn't want to be, she's someone that has a hard time with monogamy. And that's a lot of women. We have this idea that women are somehow monogamous. And I don't really understand how we have this idea, considering how much of horrors we see women being, right? Okay, so I had some pushback. There's this voice in my head sometimes that talks, and not actually. Okay, so there was a tweet that I was tagged in recently, and I'm kind of doing more harm than good because I know that some of you will, in fact, subscribe to this girl's OnlyFans. Now, apparently Lil Tay has decided to drop an OnlyFans, Lil Tay. It says Lil Tay be poppin'. Now, I don't really understand who this chick is, but I think she's some sort of internet celebrity. And the challenge you get with the mini Britney Spearses of the world is giving that much attention to a young woman is kind of a dangerous thing because you're giving them a lot of power. Power to make money, power to ruin someone's reputation, power to have access to high-value men. And so I guess she tweeted, you have 24 hours to vote yes or no on whether I should make an OnlyFans. If you don't respond, it counts as an automatic yes. Now, obviously, this woman's going to make the OnlyFans anyway. And you see the responses. And what I was trying to explain is, so Michael Knowles, and this is kind of like a blue-pilled kind of simp answer, right? Because this is a shit test. She's testing she's basically saying, like, she is making marketing for her OnlyFans. She is going to make the OnlyFans. And what she wants you to do is engage and market it. And, if Michael Knowles, if he really cared about her not doing it or like thought this was wrong, he would just ignore it, right? He would just ignore it because he doesn't want to market for this. He said but the thing is with guys, they don't realize what women are doing or maybe they don't care. He says, since you asked for my opinion, whether or not the question is sincere, I'll give it. No amount of money is worth your dignity and you'll regret it immensely if you do so. And I thought that's such a blue-pilled way of thinking because a lot of women do it and they don't regret it at all. And it was worth their dignity. And if anything, nowadays, they don't even lose their dignity doing it. I don't say that in a happy way. I don't say that, but like, I'm happy about it. But women, if anything, they're rewarded and they're accepted into normal society these days. All right, so I think that's the only one. I said you may as well do it because I don't think you have much else to offer. Oh, wait. let me call in Bryson, because Bryson said he was disappointed in me for this response. And I just think, let's beef it out live, Bryson. All right, hold on. Let me text. I'm about to text him the link. You guys tell me when he gets on. Because I tweeted this, and he said, demonic advice, Pearl. I'm disappointed. Well, my advice was at least honest. At this point, she's already mentally accepted that she's going to do it. I'm sure the pictures are already in place. You might as well just do it. You're pretty set on it, so it's now not my problem. And if anything, having outrage towards it, I just think markets the OnlyFans. But, I'll bring Bryson on the line in a second. I don't know when he'll get on. I think he's driving. So you guys just let me know when he gets here. And I'll go through some of my other tweets that we got for the day before we get into the main reaction of the day. So I guess she's made over $1 million in 3 hours. Now, Attunes says OnlyFans must be banned. And I get a little bit irritated. I get irritated when people say that it should be banned. No, even knowing, because I'm a hypocrite, that at one point I said the same thing. But if we ban corn, guys have a sex drive, right? So what are these guys going to do? I understand there's some men that claim that they quit corn, but I want you guys to know I believe none of you, and none of that is verifiable. I just have to take your word that you never did it. Yeah, okay. So if we ban corn, it's really just a solution to women being too hard to have sex with. So I don't really think it's the end of the world. Another trad, Isabella Moody. Where was she? She says OnlyFans prostitutes and simps who subscribe shouldn't be able to vote. I don't really agree with that. Maybe the prostitutes, because you guys know how I feel about that topic, even though I can't get into it. But the simps, I mean, I think if a guy, look, as much of I may not agree with it or, feels kind of icky, if a guy's building like the infrastructure of society and doing a manual labor job, I don't think you as a YouTuber have the right to tell him he's not able to vote just because he paid $5.99 to see some boobs. I don't think it's that. I really don't think it's that deep. The hookers, I would agree, but that's because I think it's more the gender. I can't get into it. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is another trad wife. So apparently, Rebecca, and this is a girl. It's the fake trads. They drive me into oblivion. Because you're not what you say you are. You're not. I'm happy you figured it out. You stuck the landing, but there's no such thing as a traditional woman in this society. So it says, help Robin go into labor by sending her the most obnoxious rage bait. Rage tweet.
Come on.
Okay, give me. I'm going to finish this thought and then I'll bring them up. Rage tweeting Pearly things brought my youngest into this world. And the interesting thing is these are married women getting upset at me. I just can't imagine a world where I am married happily to a man, right? I'm happily married. I'm in love. I have these children. And I just cannot imagine being an involved mother and still me, the random internet lady, triggering you so much that I even brought you into labor. I have that much power over you is amazing. The other thing is they always say I rage bait tweet, but they don't tell me what I say that's so enraging. I mean, I'll stand on the women shouldn't, I can't say it, but I'll stand on that. That's what I think. And so it's almost like a way that they use when they don't like your opinion.